Hello and welcome back. In this video, we're going to concentrate on actually getting in there and fixing some of these areas where we're getting errors. So we already ran a accessibility check on this, and these were the errors that popped up. As I mentioned in the last video, we had a lot of these straight arrow connectors. So I'm going to click on the first link. Again, clicking on these links will jump right to the particular slide and the issue that you're having with accessibility. So as I mentioned before, these arrows, they're very generic. It'll read out straight arrow connector number 7, 9, 13, and so on and so forth. So it's up to us to give this a title and description. It's actually very similar to how we would actually give alt text to an image in Word. I'm going to select the arrow. As you can see, I have multiple. I would do this same process to all the arrows that are in my slide, as well as this image here that I have off to the bottom right. So I'll right-click on it, choose Format Shape, and again, this is very similar to Word if you watch those videos. And I'm going to click on the Size and Properties third button here. We'll twirl down and open up alt text. So once again, we're going to just add a title and a description to this arrow. So try to make it as descriptive as possible. So maybe I'll just write image of arrow pointing to, or just image of an arrow pointing to object or content. So perhaps then in the description, I can write red arrow pointing to the heading 1 style in Word. Okay, so I would give it a description so it knows exactly what it's pointing to. There is no save button, which kind of annoys me. But when you're done with it, you could all just close out just by clicking on the X. So it is done. So now you'll notice that in my errors it updates, and I don't see straight arrow connector number 7 listed. So you would just continue on and do this same process with all these arrows. As you can imagine, it gets a little time consuming. So in the future, I probably wouldn't use so many arrows. Maybe just use descriptions written to explain what I'm wanting to point to. I'll jump to the picture number 2, and that's this little logo that I have of Microsoft Word and PowerPoint. Just like with the arrows, I need to give it an alt text. So once again, I'll right-click, Format Picture. For this picture, I'll choose the Size and Properties button. It's the third option. And because we were in alt text in the last one, it automatically opens up to that. And you'll see there's an actual link here. I don't want that. I'm just going to delete it. Give it a title. I'll just say image of Word and PDF logo. So in description, I could just write logos of Word. You can write Microsoft. I'm just doing it for time. Word and PDF at the bottom right of the slide. Okay, so just give it a nice brief description. I wouldn't do any more than 2 sentences, but it's enough to give a nice description. So once again, to save it, just click on the X. So we did it with connectors, which is basically just drawing shapes. We did it with an image. I believe, let's see, content placeholder. That's this. Okay, so this video that I have here, if it's just an image of a video, that too would also need an alt tag. So again, right-click, Format Picture. Click on the third option called Size and Properties. Give it a title. Image of closed captioning. So then in the description, I can write picture of video illustrating the closed captioning option. So whatever you want to write, as long as it's relatively descriptive enough that someone can understand it without actually having to see it. Again, when to save, hit the X button. So that was showing, once again, some shapes, images, and again, this was a placeholder that I used. The next one is missing slide title. This is a really common one, especially if you were to make your own slides from scratch and not using the design formatting up here. I must have deleted it at some point because by default it does give it an actual title, but I must have deleted it. So as you can see, it's not foolproof, so it's always a good idea to go through and do the accessibility checker. So slide 8 is missing a title as well as slide 9. So you're probably thinking, well, I see the title right up top, so I don't understand why it doesn't have a title. Well, in order to really see the title, I'm going to go to the home. Actually, I need to go to view. I apologize. We need to go to the outline view. And basically what that does in the outline view, it shows you your slides as well as the titles that come along with it. So you can see everything written next to this little image of a slide is the actual title. Now we had the issue with slide 8. Somehow it got deleted. How that happened? Probably because I duplicated number 7 and then just changed some items on there. That's my guess. So a real quick and easy way of changing it is basically just typing it in. So I could just say type up, but look what's happening. Once I start to type on there, it's actually making that title. So it's probably a good idea to just go through. Oh, there's add the title. I could always just copy and paste what I have here. I could just move that out of the way. I'll just delete this one and put it in here. Now you'll notice number 8 actually has a title. I'll just write continue because it continues on. Okay, so now to automatically has a new title, we would go through the same process for slides 9 and 10. So in 9, again, it has the same thing. Because I had the same one listed, I have a feeling that's why that happened. So let's copy this. I'll delete it. And then here in the outline, I'll just simply paste it in. I'll obviously need to do some formatting to get them all looking the same, but it is actually making the title slide for me. And I'll do the last one in slide 10. Copy this. So I must have just made it just looks like a little name there, and that's it, maybe just an empty text box, and not actually had used the correct title slide. Okay, so now you'll see that I don't have any more issues with actual slide titles, which is excellent. So we still have a bunch more things to do. We have the unclear hyperlink text and the most important check reading order. We'll do that in the next video.